everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to solve analysis of conical compression spring. It is also called as tapered or cone spring. Before starting with the analysis, I am going to describe about the conical compression spring and some of its uses and advantages. On the screen you can see my channel link. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon for latest updates of my videos. You can see the types of springs on the screen. I have already done the analysis of compression, tension and torsion spring. Today I am going to solve conical spring. Do watch all the videos. I will put the link of these videos in my description box. The modeling of each spring has been explained. Today we will go to conical spring. Here are some uses for conical spring. The first one is the small solid height. This is the diagram of the compression spring in 2D. This is the outside diameter of the conical spring and this is the inside diameter. This height is called as the free length. Now when the load is applied over here, in that case the spring is going to compress and it will come to the maximum height it can obtain. The height is called as solid height. This height is going to be the least as compared to any other spring type. The second use is the variable rate, which means that this spring can take increasing force rate instead of a constant force rate, which is possible in case of compression springs. In the regular height, in these springs you can see a constant force rate, and in this you will have a variable force rate. The maximum force will be taken obviously by the ground diameters, which is the outside diameter, and the minimum force will be at the top end. So this is one of the advantage of using this kind of a spring. The third one is stability. Now if you look at the spring, when it is going to come to the maximum height or even when it is at the free length, it will have more of lateral stability. So the tendency for buckling, which is bending because of compression load, is going to reduce. The fourth use is that the vibration and resonance in the body or in the conical compression spring is much lesser because it has a uniform pitch. Now if you look at this diagram, the distance between these two ends is called as the pitch. You can make a conical spring with a uniform pitch or with a variable pitch. Uniform pitch is very easy as compared to variable pitch. These are some uses of conical compression spring. Now the last slide over here is about the application. So they are frequently used in electrical contacts such as the push button. For example, the buttons of your lift are going to have the push button and they are going to have the conical spring inside. Also the battery contact. This is something very simple and very visible to everybody. When you fix your battery, you must have seen that slot. There is a small conical spring attached at one end. They are also used in many automobile suspension system wherein you want to have a component such that there is a requirement, the body will be subjected to variable forces. So in that case you can have a conical spring at that end so that the variable force can be easily absorbed by the spring and the vibration of the system can be reduced. So this is some concept for conical spring which is required for modeling and analysis. When you are going to obtain the results, you need to have all these things in mind. In conical spring, the stress is mainly because of shear. So we are going to find out the shear stress in conical springs. So now let's go to ANSYS and start the analysis. I'll first go to static structural and double click. I'll rename it as cone spring. I'll go to engineering data. Engineering data sources. General materials. I'll use stainless steel as the material. Project. Update project. I'll go to geometry. Right click. New design modeler geometry. I'll go to units, millimeter, XY plane, look at. I'll go to sketching now. I first draw a line. I'll give some dimension. This dimension will decide the free length of the conical spring. I'll give it as 70. Now I'll make a new sketch from here. I'll go to sketch 2 and then back to sketching. I'll take a circle. I'll give it some dimension. I'll use the sweep option. Profile is a circle and path is this line. So here I will come to twist specification. I'll change no twist to turns. Say I'll give 6 turns, and if I generate, this will become my regular compression spring. From 1, if I change the scale to 2 and generate, you will see this looks like a conical spring. This is by using the option of turns. Suppose if I change the option to pitch, I told you we can give a constant pitch, which is very easy to define here. Say I give the pitch as 12, generate. So this is how my conical spring is going to look like. I'll show you some more options. In scale, if I change this value to 10, now look how the spring looks like. Suppose if I change this to 50, this is how the spring will look like. And suppose if I change this to 100, this is how the spring is going to look like. This inner portion is going to be the inner diameter and the outer one is the outside diameter. Now suppose if I change the scale back to 2, I can either define in terms of pitch or in terms of turns. Say I will give 6 turns and generate. So this is how my conical spring is going to look like. Next I am going to slice this body. I'll choose this face, new plane. I'll go to transform 1. I'll choose offset in y direction and the value I'll give say as 30. Generate. This procedure I have already followed in regular compression spring. Now I'll go to slice option. I'll choose this plane, generate. You can see over here the entire spring has been divided into various slices. I sliced the spring so that I'm able to apply the load and the fixed boundary condition. So this is my geometry. I'll go to model now and double click on model. I'll first align the body. Then I'll go to geometry. You can see over here I will have to choose stainless steel for each solid which has been generated. So I've changed the geometry. Next I'll go to mesh. I'll choose the sizing as fine and update. Next I'll go to analysis settings, right click, insert, fix support. I will choose this face or this portion as the fixed support. This portion I will insert force I'll change vector to component. In the y direction, say I'll apply a load of 100 Newton. I'll go to solution, right click, insert, stress. I want to see the shear stress. Right click, insert, strain, shear strain. Right click, insert, deformation, directional. I'll change the direction to y axis. Solution, solve. Springs are generally subjected to shear force. So instead of equivalent von Mises, if you calculate the shear force, it is better one. But it's okay if you also calculate the equivalent stress. Now I'll go to shear stress. So this is the maximum shear stress on the body. You can see over here. Next I'll go to elastic strain. I can see the max and the minimum value. And this is the directional deformation. There's a deformation of 2 mm when I apply 100 Newton load. So this is how the analysis of conical spring is supposed to be done. I hope you have understood the video. If you have any doubts, do write to me in the comment section. If you want me to solve any problem, do let me know. I will solve it and upload a video for you for your understanding. I'll see you in the next session with a very interesting analysis of springs. It'll be a comparative analysis. Thank you.